There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. You know, it's crazy, right? It's money everywhere. It's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino is the name. Hey yo, what's going on right now? You watching Casino is the name, and in this video I'm going to be addressing the question, should you leave private sector accounting and go do government accounting? Okay, so I just received this question from Erica. She's an accountant. Not exactly sure what state she's in, but I know she wants to be in Las Vegas, and she's interested in whether or not it's a good decision for her to go from private sector, where she's making six figures already, into government accounting. Now, I've said plenty of times, oh, by the way, in case you don't know, I'm an accountant, and I used to work for the federal government. And I've said plenty of times that the federal government is technically, at least by every measure that I've seen, that the government is the worst paying sector for accountants, okay? Now, they hire a lot of accountants, and it's a good job if it's a good career. It can be a great career. That doesn't mean that you can't make a lot of money, because you can. It's just more than likely you can make more on the private sector. Private companies tend to pay more money. Not every private company, of course, but like Big Four, most accounting firms, you can make a lot more money working private sector. Corporate accountants, you can typically find higher salaries even on the entry level. Like some of the entry level salaries rival the experienced, long careered accountants that work for the government. So, in her situation, with her already making six figures, she would need to be at least, say, coming in, because the government pays by pay grades, right? So if you were looking at the GS system, and the only GS grade, well, six figures starts at GS 13, right? And to be a GS 13 as a minimum, unless you work private sector or something like that and came in a certain kind of way, as a minimum, if you just had an undergrad, if you just had your bachelor's degree in accounting, not a CPA, not any of that, no master's, just as a minimum, you would start as a GS7, and it would take you 9, 11, 12, 13. It would take you at least 4 years to hit GS 13, at least 4 years. And you would probably have to be probably an exceptional candidate, because to move up every year, you need to make sure you're doing everything that you're supposed to do. So you probably be a really, well-rounded candidate. Hopefully you would be a well-rounded candidate for GS 13, like where your position takes you to GS 13 automatically if you work for, say, IG or like Inspector General, but some other positions may be 7, 9, 11, and you may only go up to GS 11 and have to find a new job for GS 12, depending on what area, what organization you're working for. But I would say GS 13 would be where you would need to be, well, she would need to be if she's looking for a six-figure salary, right? Now, that six figures at GS 13, step one, starts at like 100, I think, 100,000, where she is looking to go in Vegas. For Atlanta, I think it's like 102. Now, you can negotiate step increases and things like that, but it's not necessarily guaranteed that, they're going to give you that. It's not even guaranteed that they're going to bring you in off the street as a GS 13. I've seen a lot of GS 12s get brought in off the street. When I mean off the street, I mean like private sector. So the government tries to groom their own. So they bring you up from a 7 to a 9 to an 11 to a 12 to a 13 to a 14 to a 15. Typically, you're in their system. Now, when they really need people because they're short bodies, then they start bringing people in from private sector and giving them GS 12s. And don't get me wrong, they can give you a GS 13, 14, or 15, or even an SES. You can still get those grades, but it would you would have to demonstrate that you were in leadership and things like that. Typically, it's not nothing's perfect, right? But if you were like, I guess a chief, some kind of manager at a major organization like a Walmart, and you were working in the top parts of accounting, and then they brought you over, or you came over to the government side, they would look at how many people you supervised and things like that, and kind of give you some respect on that. But if you were just coming in off the street, I think she has about 2 years worth of experience. They're not going to, like, say she got out of college and she's already making 6 figures in 2 years after college, right? And so you won't be doing that working for the government. You just won't. Like, it's, and that's good if you made GS-13 in 4 years after college. That's great, okay? That's exceptional, all right? But definitely not 2 years. They're probably not gonna, you have to really demonstrate some reason that they should, promote you above even their own people, because they're not even promoting their people in 2 years to GS-13, because the government does operate different from, say, private sector. So you may have a bunch of private sector experience, but the reason why most accountants in the government don't have a CPA is because the CPA is almost pointless for let's say 95% of the jobs for the government. A CPA isn't used. Probably higher than 95% of accounting jobs that the CPA is not used, because CPA stands for Certified Public Accountant, and we're the government, so we're not. Well, I said we are, because I'm no longer, but they are. The government is government accounting, so they don't use, it's not public accounting, Now, there's other certifications: CIA, Certified Internal Auditor; CFE, Certified Fraud Examiner; CMA, Certified Management Accountant; CGFM, Certified Government Financial Manager; CDFM, Certified Defense Financial Manager. See, it goes on and on, right? And so all of these different certifications are still certifications. Don't get me wrong, the CPA is the golden standard, but it's not really used, It's not really used in most positions. But just having a certification is, whatever certification it is like, appreciated, but it's not necessarily necessary. So in her situation, I probably would say do not go to government accounting, because you're gonna, if the pay cut is what matters, right? Like, if you are like, hey, I'm making 110,000, they're more than likely, no, try it, go for it, like, I don't ever want to discourage anybody to say don't do it, but, more than likely, just be prepared that they probably won't respect your years of experience and the current salary that you have. More than likely, they're not. They have to be really, really desperate. Some of the people who you might be interviewing with, you're probably making more than those people currently. So, and then you're young, so, I just wanted you guys to know this and to think about it. But don't get me wrong, if you're starting out and you went the government route, it can be a great career. And even coming over, it's a very different change of pace. Government is much more, I don't know what she does exactly as far as her day-to-day activities, but what she does for the government could be way more relaxing. Then at the same time, it could be way more stressful. I don't know. I don't know what she does. I don't know what the position would be that she may go into, but this was a video for her and people like her who may be curious about this. Anyway, right now you're watching Casino Is the Name. Like, share, comment, and subscribe, and we out. There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. It's crazy, right? It's money everywhere. It's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino Is the Name.